Yes, now question number 2. The term metamorphosis is not used while describing human development. Why? If you know about metamorphosis very well, easily you can explain this question, and already I have explained to you about metamorphosis. So what we will say for this? The term metamorphosis is not used while describing human development, because in human beings body parts of an adult, what I am saying to you, because in human beings the body parts of an adult person are similar from the time of birth. What I am saying to you, the parts of an adult person are similar from the time of birth. While, and so it means what we can say, the basic plan of human's body. The basic plan of human's body does not change. There is no change in parts of the body. These are similar. Only what is going on? Body is increasing. Size of parts are increasing. But on the contrary, in a metamorphosis process, the parts of an adult are different. What we can say, in metamorphosis, the parts of an adult are different from the time of birth. As if you talk about life cycle of silkworm, already I have explained to you what I told you. At first egg hatches and larva comes out, then larva converts into caterpillar. When you will observe both structures, larva and caterpillar, then you will see a very big difference in the structure in the parts of body of both. Then caterpillar converts into pupa, so the parts of body are absolutely different as compared to caterpillar. Then pupa converts into adult silk moth, and this adult silk moth is absolutely different from pupa. So you can see in its life cycle different stages, and it is called metamorphosis. Clear? So what I told you now, on the contrary, in metamorphosis the parts of an adult are different from the time of its birth. Clear? Question number 3. Mother gives birth to a baby. You know about this one very well now. But mother gives birth to a baby, but the baby has characters of both parents, of father and of mother. How is this possible? How is this possible? So you know, mother gives birth to a baby, but the baby has characters of both parents. It has characters of both parents. Why? As we know very well, although mother gives birth to a child, but this baby is formed from the fertilization of male and female gametes. So when sperms and ovum fuse together, in this process what happens? A nucleus of male gamete fuses with the nucleus of female gamete to form zygote. So this zygote is single celled, because there is fusion only between in nucleus of both the cells. So this zygote, whatever is formed now, this zygote contains characteristics of both the parents, male and female. And then after what happens? This zygote starts division repeatedly to form a ball of 100 cells. This is called an embryo. Then this embryo further develops and changes into fetus, and this fetus develops into an individual, into a offspring. Clear? So you can see here a baby is formed by the zygote, and this zygote consists of both the characteristics of both the parents. And this is the reason, and that is why a baby has characters of both parents. Clear? Now question number 4, how is reproduction in Hydra different from that in amoeba? So here we are talking about Hydra and then we are talking about amoeba. As you know very well, Hydra and amoeba both are unicellular organism. Both are unicellular organism and they reproduce asexually. It means asexual reproduction is carried out in both the living organism, in both Hydra and amoeba. But it is saying how is reproduction is different in both living organism. These are unicellular and they reproduce asexually. But the mode of asexual reproduction, yes, the mode of asexual reproduction is different in both the living organism. Yes, if we talk about Hydra, so Hydra reproduces by budding method, by budding asexual method. This is the mode of asexual reproduction in Hydra. And in this method, what happens? A part of its body starts growing as bud and then separates from parent's body to grow individually. So this is the mode of asexual reproduction in Hydra. If we talk about amoeba, so amoeba reproduces by binary fission. It reproduces by binary fission, and already I have told you about this one in previous question. And in this method, what happens? In this mode of asexual reproduction, at first nucleus of this single cell of amoeba starts division, and then after its body starts division into two equal parts, and each part grow as an individual. Clear? So you can see here in which manner these are different in reproduction method. These are sexually they reproduce sexually, but the mode of reproduction, the mode of asexual reproduction is different in both the living organism. Here budding method, budding mode of asexual reproduction, okay, carry out in amoeba. Binary fission mode of asexual reproduction is carried out. Clear? Then after question number 5, state whether the following statements are true or false. If false, then correct the statement also. First is external fertilization can occur both in water and on land. What do you think about this statement? You know, according to me, this statement is absolutely false. Yes. Why? How will you correct this statement? You know, external fertilization can occur only in water, not on the land. It occurs only in the water, in water. So how will you write down the sentence in correct form? External fertilization can occurs, in place of can, just leave this can also. External fertilization occurs only in water, not on land. Okay? B. The eggs of fish are covered by hard shells for protection. No. If you talk about eggs of frogs, if you talk about eggs of fish, so these are not covered by hard shells for protection. In place of this, what you can write down? The eggs of fish are covered by gelatinous covering, by jelly-like substance for protection. And you know, because of this jelly-like substance, these are held together also and not eaten by other predators, other animals also. Clear? So in place of hard shell, what you have to write down? These are covered by gelatinous covering for protection. So this statement is also false now. And how will you correct it? By changing this word hard shells. In place of it, you have to write down gelatinous substance, gelatinous covering. Clear? Now next, human egg has a head middle piece and tail. What do you think about it? If you know the structure of egg and sperm, so easily you can recognize this statement. You know, this is also false. Why? Because this head, middle piece and tail, these parts are present in sperm, not in human egg. So in place of egg, you have to write down sperm. What you have to write down here? Sperm. Human sperm has a head, middle piece and tail. Clear? Then after, in adult human females, a single mature egg is released into an oviduct every month. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. It is saying about releasing egg. You know what happens? In the starting, at first our uterus, walls of uterus starts becoming thick. For what? For the development, for the protection of embryo, which will embed in the uterus. Okay, so at first what happens? Egg is released in the fallopian tube. If sperms are coming, sperms fertilizes the egg, so egg will be fertilized, and then after it will change into convert into zygote, then after will convert into embryo, and then it gets embedded in the uterus for development, for further development. But suppose if egg is not fertilized, so in which case what will happen? Actually in this condition the walls of uterus shed off, and with the blood these walls and unfertilized eggs are released through vagina of female. Okay, and you know, after this, and this process takes 28 days, and after 28 days, it means this is 1 month na. So after 1 month this cycle again starts in female's body, and this is called menstruation cycle na. So if egg is fertilized, so it will be embedded in the in the uterus na for further development. So there will be, so then after this menstruation cycle does not takes place in human's body, in female's body. Okay, so this is absolutely correct statement that in adult human females a single mature egg is released into an oviduct every month. Clear? Now question number 6. Why do only male gametes have a tail? Why female gamete do not have tail? It is asking about male gametes. You know the structure of male gamete. These are just like this. And female gamete, this is the structure of female gamete. This is egg and this is sperm. So you know they have tails. Why? Actually they have tail to facilitate movement. Yes, and with the help of tail, actually this tail help them to reach the egg, because there is no movement in the egg, there is movement only in the sperm, and always sperm comes to the egg. So this tail helps to the sperm to reach the egg, and then after its nucleus, only its nucleus enters the egg to fertilize this egg, and this fertilized egg is converted into zygote for further development to form an individual. Clear? So that is why to facilitate the movement of this sperm, they have this tail. Clear? Now question number 7. What does figure represent? It is asking about this diagram. What you are looking here? I think it is amoeba na, and it is its nucleus. But this nucleus is dividing. This nucleus is dividing. So what you will say? It represents the dividing of nucleus of amoeba. What it is representing? It represents the dividing of nucleus of amoeba. And then after, what we can say? In amoeba, amoeba reproduces asexually by binary fission, and in this process at first nucleus starts division, and then after its body starts division, and it divides into two parts, and each part develop into a amoeba, into a new individual. Clear? So easily you can recognize this feature now. What you can say in short, this figure represents dividing of nucleus of amoeba. Clear? Then after, look this figure. Observe the figure given as figure and answer the questions that follow. What you are looking here, in previous question I told you, structure of sperm. What are these? These are sperms, and this is the structure of ovum, or you can say egg. Clear? Now it is asking label A and B. This is your first question. Label A and B. Actually, what is this? Is A. This is sperm. This is sperm. And what is this B? It is asking about this one. It is egg, or you can say ovum. O-V-U-M, ovum. It's U. Okay? Egg or ovum. Now question number B, identify the process. Which process is this? What you are looking here? Sperms are coming near to the ovum. But what happens? Only nucleus of sperm enters the ovum to fertilize it. And then after, fertilization process takes place to form zygote. So what is this? Identify the process. So for B option you have to write down here, it is fertilization. Fertilization. This process is called fertilization. A fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization, and it is done to form zygote, and this zygote is single celled, but the nature of zygote is diploid. Now what happens during this process and what is formed? You know what is formed already I have told you, but this thing you have to write down in this question, in C question. What happens during this process? During this process or during fertilization, when sperms reach to the egg cell, so only its nucleus enters the egg, enter the inside the egg, and this nucleus of sperm fuses with the nucleus of egg to form zygote, and this zygote is single celled, and it is asking now, and what is formed? It forms here to form zygote. So zygote is formed in the process of fertilization, okay, to develop a new baby, Clear? So in this way you have to explain this answer, and already I have told you all the things, so there is no requirement of learning. Clear?